Hello and welcome to the Dementia Dish with Danielle. I'm Danielle Farrell from the Alzheimer's Society of Peel, one of the public education coordinators, and I'm coming to you today to talk about caring from a distance. For many caregivers, they don't live close by, and so it is important to still stay as involved as possible despite your distance. So where do you start? Well, first, you can educate yourself about Alzheimer's disease or related dementia. You can assist your family members who are living closer and providing, the day-to-day care. You can provide financial assistance for respite care. So the primary caregiver will need to take regular breaks in order to not have care partner burnout. So it would be great if you can help to provide maybe some financial assistance towards that respite care. So that might be an adult day program, or that might be some in-home services, but just helping to sort of shoulder some of that financial burden that will come with the respite services. You can potentially manage some appointments for the person living with dementia through technology. So being able to be there virtually at an appointment with the person living with dementia, or online banking, so paying the bills. You could do that from a distance in order to sort of take away a burden, a task off of the care partner that is living close by and providing that daily care. Plan time to relieve that primary care partner of their duties. So you might live quite a distance, but maybe you could plan to visit a couple of times a year, and the primary caregiver be able to go and have a break while you stay and provide the care to the person living with dementia. This would need to be planned ahead of time, of course, but that can really be very helpful for the primary care partner. Other things are to consider is that although people with dementia do best in familiar and stable settings, travel can be successful given the right conditions and planning. So if you plan it well, person living with dementia may be able to go and stay with you for some time in order to give the primary care partner a break as well. So with helping from a distance, it's great if you can stay involved in the conversations, especially around what is occurring with the person. So if the primary care partner is taking the person living with dementia to their doctor's appointments, you joining in virtually could be very helpful so that you're hearing the same information and you are staying connected. Make connections with the staff and respite workers who will be coming in, again, to keep you in the loop and so that you are more familiar with the day-to-day changes and the day-to-day things and routine that the person living with dementia has. Being involved with the healthcare professionals, being very communicative with the primary care partner, is really very key to caring from a distance. So really support the primary care partner. They're probably going to have very set routines that they have in place in order to provide the daily care. They also often, because they're the person on site, have to make some decisions in the moment. So the key is really not to swoop in. It's to be as supportive as possible to that person's decisions instead of questioning every decision the person makes. So, it's helpful to say, I realize you're the person there and I support whatever decision you make. You have my full support. That can actually be very helpful to the primary care partner. Establish a communication routine so you can communicate with the person living with dementia through phone calls and FaceTime. We have lots of technology now to help to ensure that communication stays in place. Really listen to the primary care partner on what they're experiencing. One of the roles that you can definitely play is to be a sounding board, is to be an empathetic listener for that person. So be sure to thank the primary caregiver who is spending, their time supporting the person living with dementia. You're not there every day, obviously, so you may kind of lose sight of how difficult the situation can be for that day-to-day caregiver. You can help to make, legal and financial arrangements from a distance. You can also help the care partner with sharing of some costs. So perhaps maybe the person living with dementia no longer drives, and maybe there's, Uber costs, or there's cost to maybe food coming in. So maybe it's a food delivery service like Meals on Wheels, something of that sort. So really important to help kind of shoulder the cost of some of those things. The other thing that you might want to consider is getting really creative around the FaceTiming or the phone calls, and arrange to have, a dinner date with your family member who's living with dementia. Have the food delivered at a certain time, and then be on FaceTime with them and sort of be having your meal wherever you are. And this makes for a social time of sort of meal sharing, although you're far apart. Sending cards or letters or postcards to the person living with dementia gives them something to look forward to, and lets them know that you are thinking of them, even though you're a distance away. With technology now, you can record videos, right? So you can do a video message that can be played for the person living with dementia. And all of these things can really help to keep you as connected as possible despite your distance. So just because you live at a distance does not mean you aren't involved and that you don't care. So I hope we've shared some tips and strategies here of how you can remain as involved as possible. If you'd like to contact the Alzheimer's Society of Peel, we can be reached by our phone number and then extension 307, or you can email us at direct.support at alzheimerpeel.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us for the Dementia Dish today, and hopefully you will join us again for future Dementia Dishes.